Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally post on here. It's actually going to be a video about graduate school. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips that I wish I would have known going into my first semester. So right now I'm starting my second semester of graduate school at the University of Alabama. My program is the Community Journalism program. It's a 1-year track. It's a little bit different because it's not a segue to get a doctorate if you are interested in that. It's called the professional track, and it's for people who just want a master's degree and then go out into the world and get a job. I have no interest in getting a PhD or anything like that, so this was the best track for me. It goes from August to August, so I started last fall in 2018 and I'll be done August 3rd of 2019. And yeah, so what it is fall semester in classes, spring semester in classes, and then the summer semester is an internship at a newspaper. Well, it's an internship at the newspaper for me because that's my degree that I'm getting. It might be different for other programs. I'm not really too sure because that's not what I'm doing. So I was just gonna give you guys some tips. If you are watching this video, you're probably about to start graduate school, or you're thinking about it, or you're in it right now and you think you have lost your mind and you need help. So that's what this video is gonna be about. So let's just go ahead and get started. So my first tip for anything is to get a planner. This is the planner that I currently use. It's the Simplified Planner by Emily Lee, I'm not really too sure. I got this last year for Christmas, like in 2017 for Christmas, from my stepmom as I was graduating with my undergraduate degree. And if you hear a weird noise in the background, that's either my dog playing with her bone or that's my husband vacuuming the floors. So yeah, anyway, get a planner. Plan out what you're going to do. Plan out your classes, plan out everything. Plan out days that you don't want to do anything. Plan out when you're going to do this assignment. If you have to work, put your work schedule in there. The planner that I have is the weekly planner. The company that produces my planner offers daily planners or weekly planners. The planner that I got last year was a daily planner, so it had time slots for every single day. So this is pretty thin for a planner in my opinion. The other one was probably about that big because it had every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you could write in what you wanted to do, so that might work better. In my planner, it puts a week out on one page, so it spreads it out. I'll show you guys. So it spreads it out like this. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The weekends, it has a very small space, but that's good for me because I'm typically either working or just hanging out. I love writing things out. It makes me feel organized. It makes me feel calm. And if I have a lot to do, it's nice to see everything laid out, everything I've got to do for that day, and I can check it off as I complete it. So planners are my lifesaver. I literally write everything in here. It's the only way that I could keep everything together and stay organized. And it makes it a lot less stressful because you have everything written out. So I love planners. So I got this one. I think it's really cute. It's also a hard planner, so it's not gonna get messed up in your backpack. It has this little thing down here, like a bookmark. Yeah, it has a bookmark so that you can mark what week you're on, and it goes from January to December. So you don't have any, it's not like those planners where it goes from August to August, and that's kind of a weird way to do it. This goes from January to December. If you're really into having an organized planner like I am, they sell bundles where you can get the color-coded pens and stickers and rubber bands and paper clips and all kinds of stuff. So I have all that too. If you guys would be interested in something like that as a video, just let me know because it's kind of too much to put into this one. But yeah, tip number 1 is get a planner and use it. Tip number 2 is don't procrastinate. If you have something that is due on Friday, do not wait till Thursday to do it. Just don't do it. When I was completing my undergraduate degree, I did procrastinate a lot, but the workload was very, very different. If you procrastinate in graduate school, you're gonna have a very hard time getting your work done. And even if you do get it done, you're gonna have a hard time being prepared in class. Most of my classes have to do with discussions and giving your opinions on what you read, and the teachers expect you to talk. Like, you can't get away with just sitting in the back and not saying anything. Like, they expect you to talk, and sometimes they'll even call you out and say, what did you think about this? And you can't really just, you know, make something up. You have to know what you're doing. So don't procrastinate. If it's due on Friday, be prepared on Friday. Don't wait till Thursday night, do it Wednesday, do it Thursday, because something will come up and you're gonna feel extremely unprepared. That happened to me a couple of times. Something came up with my personal life, something happened to my car, which that is a whole different story on its own, but something came up and I couldn't complete it, and I was either up all night and not well rested, or I was not prepared for class, and that is the worst feeling ever. So do not procrastinate. Get your work done, set aside times to do it, set aside times way in advance, and just get it done. A tip that I received for not procrastinating is move all your due dates up one day. So if something's due Friday at 5 p.m., put in your planner that it's due Thursday at 5 p.m. and really try and stick to that and get it done a day in advance. That way you do not have to worry about it. I swear it will make your life so much easier. You will feel good, you will feel relaxed, and if something does come up, you won't feel like you've got all this stuff you have to do. You can deal with your extra stuff and not have to worry about, am I gonna be able to finish my schoolwork? Tip number 3 is never say, oh, I'm just gonna finish it in the morning. Never. I used to be the queen of waking up at 4 a.m. when my class is at 10 and giving myself time to work on an assignment. That does not work at the graduate level, because I tried that a couple of times and it just does not work. You're not gonna turn in your best work. You're gonna feel tired. You're gonna hit the snooze. Like, you set your alarm to wake up at 4 a.m. You're probably gonna hit it till 5 or 6. Just do it that night. Stay up and do it. Get it done. I promise it seems so hard. You get so tired and you can't focus. Get some coffee, get an energy drink, jump around, or even take a 15-minute power nap. Do something and get it done that night. Don't say you're gonna wake up and do it, because you just can't. You just can't do that easily. It's stressful. You start to see the time clicking down and you realize you don't have as much time as you thought. You didn't give yourself enough time to complete the assignment, and either A, you're gonna have to turn it in late, or B, you're gonna have to turn it in incomplete. And neither of those options is a good one. So don't do it in the morning, do it at night. And this goes back to don't procrastinate. Don't leave yourself one night to do it. I promise you, it seems so tedious to have to spread it out over a couple days, but you will feel so much better in the long run. Just don't procrastinate. That way you don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. to do it. Just don't do it. Tip number 4 is actually a tip that I received from one of my professors, and he said always give yourself one day every single week that is dedicated to you, where you're not doing schoolwork, where you're not working, where you are just hanging out, doing something for fun, relaxing, whatever it is. Always have a day, if possible. I understand it's a little bit different for people who are working full-time and going back to school to get their master's degree, or people who have children or anything like that. But if possible, give yourself a day. Give yourself one day, give yourself half a day if that's what you need to do. Just give yourself some time to not worry about school and to not feel guilty about not worrying about school. So what I like to do at the beginning of every semester is I like to look at my school schedule, look at what day it could be possible for me to just sit home and relax, and then I tell my job that I can't work that day. And I understand this might not work in everybody's circumstances, but that works for me since I only work part-time right now. That way I always have one day where I can just focus on reading a book, watching Netflix, filming a YouTube video, doing makeup, something that I like to do for fun, playing with my dog, like a whole day playing with my dog. I love that. That's great. Something where you don't have to worry about school, because it can get extremely overwhelming very quickly. You don't want to feel like you have to do something every single day. And this goes all the way back to the do not procrastinate, because if you're putting your work off and putting it off, you're not going to be able to have a day to just enjoy life. You're going to have to do something every single day. So just get it done. Plan your day out. See, it all goes in order. Plan your day out. Don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate so you don't have to do it in the morning. And then always give yourself one day off, or half a day. One day or half a day. Just some allotted time where you don't have to worry about school. And you will thank me later. And last but not least, certainly not least, do not overwork yourself, okay? When I was an undergraduate, I did everything. Like, I literally did everything. Was in a sorority, had a full-time job basically, because I was working 38 hours a week. Still wanted to hang out with my friends, still wanted to hang out with my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, still wanted to hang out with family, wanted to do all these things. I was literally busy 24/7, which that works for me to an extent. You can't do that all the time, because you will literally just go crazy. Like, you will feel extremely overwhelmed at some point. And that's not to say I don't like to be busy, because I do. I thrive when I'm busy, but there's a difference in overworking yourself and just staying productive. Don't overwork yourself. What I like to do is I like to look at my planner, look and see what I have going on, and get it done. I also tell my job, you know, this is my school schedule, this is what I have, this is what I'm doing. These are the times that I can work around school. Sometimes it may be a little bit different week to week, but for the most part, I try and keep it to where I don't feel overwhelmed. Luckily, I work at a place where we close at 6 p.m. So I'm always home by 7, and I understand not everybody has that luxury. Most people are, you know, working a restaurant job where they're open all night, and it's hard. I understand it's hard, but do not overwork yourself. It's stressful, and I know you need money to pay for things. Trust me, I know. But don't kill yourself trying to get money, trying to get all A's in school, trying to do all these things. Like, just don't do it. This goes back to give yourself a day. Like, seriously, give yourself a day, half a day, where you're not just going crazy, because graduate school is a lot of work. It's very, very different from undergraduate school, especially in a program like mine where it's only 1 year and I don't have a couple semesters to spread things out. And there are some programs that it's just all the time. You're taking 14 hours and it's a lot. Every class requires you to read a whole chapter. Every class requires you to write a 20-page paper. It's a lot. So you need to be aware of your mental health and your emotional health, so you are not having a total breakdown and feeling like you're going to lose your mind, because it gets very stressful very quickly. So don't overwork yourself to the best of your ability. I know it's hard sometimes because we want to do everything. We want to see everyone. We want to have time to ourselves. We want to do everything. But you need to think about what is best for you and what makes you feel good. That's what's important in this situation. And people will understand. Your job might understand, maybe, if you're lucky to have a nice boss, or if you're lucky to just be working part-time. Like I said, it's a little bit different. People who get sent back to school by their career, that's a different story, and I can't really speak on that because it's not my situation. Try to keep yourself balanced and at a place where you feel good. Don't book yourself every hour, every single day if you can help it. Overall, those are my 5 tips for succeeding at the graduate level, if that's what you are doing, or even in undergrad. The workload is different, but these could apply to anything. It's not exclusive to being a graduate student. It has to do with a lot of stuff. But what I'd like to end this video saying is, at the end of the day, even though graduate school is very, very stressful, and sometimes you just want to rip your eyeballs out and roll on the floor and kick yourself for joining and agreeing to do this. It is so worth it. In the end, it will feel good to have a master's degree. It'll feel good to get that pay increase. It'll feel good to just be completed with everything. It's hard, but it's worth it. And make sure you have a good support system. Make sure you have people who understand how much time these types of programs take, and people who support you and people who help you. Luckily, I have an amazing support system and people who encourage me all the time, and it makes it easier to have something like that. So I hope you guys really enjoy this video and you take these tips to heart. Like I said, it's not exclusive to being a graduate student. It really has to do with kind of anything in your life. Just be aware of what makes life easier for you and apply that and do it. Apply it and actually do it. It's one thing to make a list or to put in your mind, you want to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, but then you have to actually do it. It'll make you feel so much better if you take the time to make sure you are not killing yourself working, going to school, whatever it is. Just take the time to make sure that you are doing things to the best of your ability without going insane. But anyway, hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you are not already, and like this video, comment on this video, follow me on Instagram, whatever you want to do or don't want to do. I do not care either way. That's a lie. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.